Alright, so this is just a basic introduction on how to use Kontakt. I'm not going to go into much detail, but this will at least get you started. So this browse button up here pulls up this left window, which shows you the licensed instruments through Kontakt under libraries, as well as your own WAV files and instruments from your hard drive or desktop. This master pulls up the time and tempo. Info shows you information about each instrument. The output routes each instrument that you pull up to a different channel on your DAW. So I have 1 through 8 here on Pro Tools, routed to 1 through 8 here on Kontakt. If you are not using individual tracks, you're just going through one track, you don't need to worry about this output tab. The keyboard is a click to play keyboard, so you can click these notes to play. You can also see which notes are active on each instrument here. So these white notes, there's no sample being run to those. The quick load function lets you pull instruments from this window instead of pulling them from your desktop or here in the files section. So you really don't need this window if you're going to be using everything from your quick load function. And the quick load can also be pulled up from right clicking. Files, self-explanatory. I go through this batch resave on another video if you want to check that out. Options, just a few things here. This -6 and 0, I think the default is set to -6, meaning anything that's pulled into Kontakt will be played at 6 decibels quieter. I always have it to 0. And this thing lastly is the first free or omni. So first free means that any instrument that you pull up in Kontakt will route to different tracks in your DAW. So see how these are coming up 1, 2, 3, output 1, output 2, output 3. It'll route all the way up to however much you have linked to your DAW. You want to use Omni if you're not going to be routing them to each individual track. So now when I have it on Omni, you see it says Omni down here. That just means it's all going to go to one track, all out 1 and 2. Alright, and lastly, if you pull up an instrument, now if you pull up an instrument and it's not changing keys as you go up and down the keyboard, you want to make sure this tracking button is activated. So you click this wrench and make sure that's lit up, tracking. Also, if you want to do your own processing on these instruments, you can either use the group insert effects or the instrument insert effects. So the group will only affect an individual group here. So some instruments you pull up, say like a drum kit, will have each piece of the drum kit routed to a different group. You'll have like kick, snare, hi-hat, etc. Anything that you pull up on this group instrument will only affect one group. So say I pull up a compressor here, it's only going to affect the kick or the snare. The instrument insert effects here will affect every single sample on that instrument. Alright, that's about it.